guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and I just want to do a little vlog here while I'm driving to practice hockey. Hagerty came out with a list of must cars to buy in 2017, and I thought we'd talk about it. So the first car on that list is the Mark IV Supra. That was made from 1993 to 1998, United States model year, and obviously I think that's a collectible car already. Supras, especially turbos and stick, are very hard to find and already command a premium. So I think that's certainly a great car. You know, they're not making any more of them. I think it's just got out of this world looks to me. I think the design still looks great. Obviously has the performance. They're very tunable, have a very large following. So I think that's going to be a car that's going to appreciate for years to come. Next car on the list was the 2001 to 2006 in the United States model years E46 M3. One of my favorite cars ever. And those of you that follow the channel and watched a lot of my earlier videos, I talk about it a lot, even though it was stolen a long time ago. I had a 2003 Laguna Seca Blue coupe, 6-speed, sunroof delete. Black interior. I love that car. That was just such an amazing car. And you know, one day I was working. I always parked that car where I could see it. So I was on the second floor of my office building. I parked maybe, the parking lot was a far distance away, but I could see it from my window. So maybe 50 yards away, probably more than that. And you know, I didn't look at the window because I was working. Came out lunchtime and my car was gone. So getting back to the collectability of that car, I think certainly that car has a very strong following. One of the best M cars ever made, certainly. And I think that car is going to appreciate for years to come as well. You know, good ones are getting harder and harder to find. I think, you know, the appreciation we're going to see the most is on stick shift coupes, especially if they were sunroof delete cars. Accelerate a little bit here. But I think that's certainly a car that you will not lose money in. Try to get a clean one. You know, the lower miles the better, or if it's higher miles, obviously a highly maintained example. And you know, I think that car is going to hold its value and probably appreciate its value as time goes on. The next car on the list is the C5 Corvette, which here in the United States was made from 1997 to 2004. I actually owned one of these. I had a 2002 Z06, so it was electron blue. That was a great car. I bought it slightly used. That was my autocross car for a long time. It did really well with it out of the box. I could get great times and, you know, finish in the top 3 running it stock. I just used even the stock tires. I didn't even need our compound tires for it. That car was just so good, and it handled great. And they didn't have, and that was my radar detector. And they handled great. And you know, just the Z06 certainly out of the box. So I had 2 C4 Corvettes before that. The last one being an Admiral Blue 95. That was my track car. I bought that car with 10,000 miles and for high 20s, but because it was a mint example, it was Admiral Blue 6-speed, which they made about 1,000 Admiral Blues in 94 and 95. 75% of Corvettes are automatic, so there's probably about 250 made in stick in 94, 250 made in 95. The advantage of the 95 is it had the ZR1 brakes, because that was the last year of the ZR1. And that was my track car. I must have done 100 track days with that car. And I wound up trading it in for an 02 Z06 when it had 90,000 miles on it. And the Z06 I bought, I think, had 20,000 miles. And I drove it at about 10,000 miles in 3 years because I had other cars and did some track days with it, a lot of autocrosses. And I basically sold it for the same money I bought it for. So I do believe that those cars probably will rise in value. I don't know that they'll go up as much as a Supra. And of course, there's a high upside for the E46 M3s. You know, certainly maybe the Z06s, the old one Z06 is only 385 horsepower and have a much stiffer suspension. In 02, they figured out the suspension in 02 to 04, and they're the 405 horsepower. And when that came out in 02, let's be realistic, there weren't too many, except for like a 911 Turbo, there weren't too many cars, or a Viper, that were pushing out 400 horsepower from the factory that were everyday cars. So, I think that's one that has potential as well. Again, I think they have to be stick shifts. And for Corvettes, it seems like mileage is more important than other cars. When I had my Z06, again, I bought it with 20,000 miles. When I saw it with 30,000 miles, there were people that wouldn't look at it because it had 30,000 miles. They're like, oh, I'd buy this tomorrow if it had 20,000 miles. 30,000 miles is way too much. And I kind of disagree with that. I mean, my other Corvette was going strong at 90,000 miles. So I just think a lot of these cars are garage queens. Maybe people buy them as a third, fourth, or fifth car, and they don't see too many miles. And that's why people think mileage is so important. The next car on the list is the third generation Viper that here in the United States came out model year 2003. It was really an amazing car when it came out. It was so far ahead of the Corvette Z06. It had over 500 horsepower. It was 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. And it had a crazy stopping distance from 60 to 0. It was like one of the car magazines, and I have it in my basement somewhere. I don't know if it was Motor Trend or Automobile, got a 60 to 0 time of about 99 feet, which is really kind of unheard of, since most sports cars were around 120 feet, and a good sports car was maybe 105, 110, going from 60 to 0. I drove one of those cars when they first came out, the 03 convertible. They were only convertibles in 03 at one of the Skip Barber racing schools up in Lime Rock Park. I had done quite a few, a million of them, the Skip Barber racing schools, including the 3-day racing school, and they actually had a Viper driving school when that 03 Viper came out, and we did like the autocross course with it, and it was just amazing handling. I mean, it was a handful, it oversteered like crazy, but the brakes were amazing. One thing I remember is how hot that car was. Thank God it was a convertible, because when you start doing track work, the heat for that engine really boils the inside, and one advantage, obviously the coupe is stiffer and you get better lap times, but one advantage of the convertible is you can open the roof and get some of that hot air out, right? Because the hot air is rising. But that was an amazing car to drive, and I think that's a very good car. I've looked at a couple 03s and 04s to buy in the past, and I could never really get past that shifter. It was almost like real heavy clutch, churning butter. I know it's a great performance, but just the stars never aligned where I could get one. But I do think that Viper is such a amazing track car and a very visceral driving experience, especially with that V10 engine. They all come in sticks, side pipes, that I think it will go up in value in the future. I think those cars are, like the Corvettes, are kind of mileage dependent too, where I think on some of the other cars like the BMWs or the Supras, if they're maintained, mileage doesn't matter as much. Then there's other cars on the list. I mean, a 2003 Enzo, Ferrari Enzo. I mean, that's such a limited car. That's obviously going to continue to climb in value. If you're an investor or have the means, certainly go get the Enzo. I'll never have that, I'm for sure. Definitely not. But if you're a collector, sure, of course, you can't go wrong with the Enzo. Another car on that list is the 997 GT3 RS. I agree with that as well. I wonder with that car, and it's an amazing car, and if I could afford one, I'd probably have one. As far as the RS goes, obviously they're built in limited numbers. Typically, there's usually double the number of regular GT3s compared to RS models, probably more than that. And I wonder how the stick shift, the new GT3 that's coming out now, the 991.2, is going to be available in stick. It's going to have the 4.0 instead of the 3.8 of the GT3 RS, so I wonder how that's going to affect the values. Obviously, GT3 RS is going to be exclusive, and that's typically, what makes the value go up, where, anybody can probably buy a 991.2 GT3, in stick. They'll certainly be easier to get than paying through the nose for an RS. So let me know if you agree with Hagerty on those 5 cars. I'm sure, if you think about it, there's cars that they're missing. So what else do you think would be a great car to buy in 2017 that has the potential for future appreciation? I wonder, you guys seem like You guys really know your cars, I think, my followers, so I'm really looking forward to your answers. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to share this video with your friends. Let's get their opinions too. And of course, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a video. I try to upload it every other day, so there's plenty of videos to watch. Thanks again for watching, and I appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.